Hey everybody, what's going on? Fabian Calvo, founder and president of the real estate investment firm, The Node House, and creator of the Resourceful Real Estate Academy. And I have this special message that I wanted to share with you, kind of a lot of my mind, a lot of things that I think will really empower you. Because what the Resourceful Real Estate Academy is all about is where we teach you to basically buy properties with no money out of pocket, no credit, and be able to monetize what I call the $1 trillion opportunity in this 21st century real estate market. So, I've talked about often the opportunity in this market, about, just today I was meeting with a bank executive, 15 years in the industry, he's retired now, but he was talking about how, he still talks to his contacts and there's still just trillions, literally trillions of dollars in defaulted mortgage debt all around the country, really all around the West, the Western world, if you will, and so many more properties as well, millions and millions of properties on bank balance sheets, government balance sheets, hedge funds that own these things. And it's just, there's never been this much opportunity, and it's been this kind of, this paradigm of really all this money buying real estate right now, whether it's $1 billion, whether it's the mom and pop or local investors that have, 50 grand, 100 grand cash, but all this cash moving into hard assets happening globally. You see it with gold and with other commodities, but with real estate, it's just tremendous. And then at the same time, all of this toxic debt and inventory, and that allows really anyone within the sound of my voice to basically be able to put those two together, do it in a way that's resourceful, like I do every single day, and be able to really change their life and take their career and take their life to the next level. So the opportunity is truly tremendous. And, I look at how it's changed my life. I mean, I've been investing in real estate for 11 years. And, when I started out, I learned everything I could about no money down investing. I just immersed myself in the subject matter. And after a short period of time, I developed a knack for being able to find really good real estate deals and find people that had the money but didn't have the time to invest in those deals. And I put those together, and it worked out really, really well. And I made millions of dollars in a very short period of time. I was totally thrilled. But then the market totally fell apart. And it doesn't really matter what industry you're in. I think it's affected all of us. It affected all of us. It affected, everyone in the real estate industry, or anyone tied to that industry in any way, or just anyone in the general economy. But it's really part more of this huge paradigm shift that I'll get to more in a second that's underway as the economy transitions from a 20th century model to a 21st century model. And I'll talk about that in just a second. But back to just my own experience and my story. I was basically, really just in dire straits. I didn't know if I wanted to keep in the real estate industry. I decided, though, after really having kind of a real, introspective journey with myself, that, I'm going to recommit myself to principles that I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars learning, that I've deployed and have been successful, and that I knew would be successful in an up or down market. And that's exactly what I did in a very short period of time. I started making hundreds of thousands of dollars, deploying the tactics that I teach in the Resourceful Real Estate Academy. And what I think is important about this is that I've seen these strategies change other people's lives. I mean, I literally have seen people that, work the 9 to 5, working 40 plus hours a week, and have started working with the program, and in a very short period of time, they're making, $5,000, $10,000 extra income a month, and that alone, just overnight, I mean, changes their life, and not so much maybe overnight as far as the income, but truly in the short period of time, they go from not knowing much about anything with real estate to being a seasoned investor. But here's the thing. I can tell you that it's changed my life. I want to show you just the last 40 days, 45 days, I think this is, all the deals that I've put together, show you proof, because I think that's what's important. And this is unfortunately, anytime you talk about your experience when it comes to investing in stocks or real estate or whatever it may be, people have doubt and they have questions, and rightfully so. I think that's a good thing. Here's a property that I bought and sold in North Carolina. Keep in mind, the majority of these deals that I'm going to show you, not one of them is located. I think the closest one is about 400 miles away from me. So there's not any of these properties or anywhere near me. I've done all of these from my home computer or office computer, never left home, never saw any of these properties. This is a home in Durham, North Carolina. I paid $2,300 for this house. and I sold it for $27,500, made $25,171. I have my little notes here on the back if you see me reading. So $25,000 in less than 30 days. I did it with absolutely no money out of pocket. That was in Durham, North Carolina. Here's one that I did in Atlanta. This was purchased it for $5,700. I sold it for $13,000, made $7,200 in less than 30 days. Again, no money out of pocket, at least no money out of my pocket. I mean, all these deals were put together in a resourceful way. This is one in Greensboro, North Carolina. Purchase price was $5,000. I sold it for $10,600. It was a $3,200 profit. Here's an apartment building and this is one of, I think, 6 that I've done in the last 3-4 months. In the market, keep in mind, this is in South Florida, in Miami, where there's supposed to be no inventory, right? I mean, anybody will tell you, distressed deals in this market are hard to come by. Here's one of many that I've done in the last few months. This one was a note that I purchased for $500,000, and I was able to basically put this whole deal together, made $34,000 in less than 30 days. That was on a note deal. This is a property in Detroit. Detroit, one of the worst markets in America, recognized as industries leaving. I, in the last 6 months, have bought and sold over 127 homes in Detroit. This is one that just one example, paid $625. $625 for this house, sold it for $5,500, made a $4,800 profit. Again, no money down, and really, there's just so many of them. These are all, this one's in Ohio, this one's in Wilson, North Carolina, this one's in Lake Placid, Florida, this one's in Zanesville, Ohio. Again, this one's in Youngstown, Ohio, where steel factories, everything have totally been put out of business. Again, paid $746 for this house, sold it for $2,000, $1,200 profit, less than 30 days. So all these deals, there's more back here, some of these, all these deals were done without a penny out of my pocket. I bought and sold them very quickly, so there was virtually no risk. There was no credit, and I'm not anywhere near, never saw one of these properties. I did it by implementing the same strategies and tactics that I teach in the Resourceful Real Estate Academy. So here's the deal. This message is going out to all the people that have opted in to the resourcefulrealestateacademy.com. And it's interesting because I see all these people opt in, and yes, so many people, and I'm so thankful, so many people have purchased a program. I'm getting stories from them already, how they're, it's transforming their life. But I always have to think to myself, what about all the people that didn't purchase a program? What's holding them back, right? I understand that, people may not have the money to buy it, or maybe people don't have, they're like, God, will it really work for me? I don't have any experience, or, I'm in a dead-end job, but I have to work, so will I have the time to do it? These are all the questions that people have emailed me. They've emailed me, and I want to thank all of you that have sent me dozens of emails, sent me messages on Facebook, asking me these questions. And, I get questions from people like in Canada or overseas. Will it work for them? And the answer is yes, it will work for you. And my question is, what's stopping you? Because the economy is fundamentally changing right now. Look, if you've come to my channel or if you've come to my site because of, maybe you saw my economic forecasting videos, or you've been to the notehouse.us and seen my articles that I posted there, you know my thoughts on the economy and where I think things are headed, right? So I'm not trying to say, hey, things are fantastic, it's all rosy and it's great sunshine and lollipops for everybody. No, I'm dealing with the reality, but what I'm saying is that we need to separate ourselves from that economy and know that we control our own economy. And I can't think of another time in history, and I study history, I look at other economic trends where there's been so much opportunity that there is today in this real estate market for several important factors. I was looking at some statistics, in the last 10 years or since the early 2000s, over 60,000 manufacturing plants have left the US. And I say to myself, my God, if I was working at one of those places, or if I was just working at a place where my income was limited, or where I was working for a place that wasn't either dealing with an entrepreneur that has different startups that are going on that, they can do well, or working at maybe with a farmer or someone like that, because I think I'm big on farming as well. Whatever it is, everybody within the sound of my voice, everybody watching this video, should do all they can to learn a new skill that will opt them out of the 20th century paradigm and opt them into a paradigm where they have a skill that they learn, whether it's real estate investing, whether it's anything, that allows you to monetize markets and stocks and whatever it may be. I know real estate. I know it can change your life, and I know that I can teach it in a way that will really empower you to take your career, take your life to the next level. And I want to remind all of you, because again, people, they have questions, they don't know, they have questions, they don't know, like, what am I buying here, right? Well, you're buying the 6-set audio series that breaks down the blueprint, how I've put together all these deals. Exactly the anatomy of how do I do this? How do I do this, and how do I do it in a way where I never physically see the property? How do I do it with no money and no credit? How do I put all these deals together? These deals, just ones that I've put together in the last 60 days. How do I do that? Well, it's all in the Resourceful Real Estate Academy. And on top of that, I give you some special gifts, and I want to just go over those right now. The first one is a dream list, or what I call the dream list. And this isn't my idea. I got this idea from Chet Holmes, who is just a superstar sales guy. Great, He would call, when he was selling things, his top clients, he would call them the dream list. So that's where I came up with this. And this is truly the top clients that I deal with every single day that are leaders. I've dealt with some of them. I haven't dealt with all of them, but I have a relationship on some level with all of them. The top leaders in distressed debt and properties, and the brokers involved, or that also are involved in the front lines of this market. I give this to you as a way of you starting right away to be able to work with most hedge funds, servicing companies, that the majority of real estate investors don't know these people. I give this to you so you learn. Here's another thing too. This is amazing. This is the bank list that I put out. Now keep in mind, there's thousands of banks out there, some on the troubled bank list, some others. These are all banks I personally have had my office vet. I know all these banks are in a situation, they're all on the troubled bank list. They all have assets that they need to sell. They've been mandated by the US government. Look at this. Literally, over 1,000 banks, all of them. I mean, I could stop at any page. Here's a whole page, several pages of banks in Florida, banks in Georgia. All these banks. Here's banks in Delaware, Connecticut, Colorado. Here's more banks in California. All these banks in every state across the country have assets they need to sell right now. Most people don't have access to this, or it's not all concise with the phone numbers of who to call. And I tell you exactly what to say in the script. What do you do when you call? Like, what do you call? What do you say? And then my action plan. This alone only goes to my elite coaching clients. It's literally the blueprint of what to do in the first 30 days and replicate that model so that you have the opportunity to earn a $1 million income in 12 months doing exactly what I teach in this program. So the question is, what's stopping you? If you've come to this channel, likely is that you believe our economy is fundamentally changing. If you know some other skill or you have some other, way that you're going to, monetize in this economy, more power to you, fantastic. If you're looking for one, real estate, in my opinion, is the easiest one to learn. It's the one that you can do with no startup cost, and it's the one that I think can really empower your life, take it to the next level in 30 days or less. All right? I'm Fabian Calvo. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you take some action, go out and become that resourceful real estate investor.